I think what it is that conservatives fear Taylor Swift's power and her cultural impact, her influence over young women. And that's why we're talking about this today. What is her influence on young women's voting habits and their political opinions? And can she change the 2024 election in a bad way? I think she already has.
She should have an album called...
She already got like 35,000 girls, probably girls, to register as Democrats. I'm sure.
Yes.
Like 99% of them.
An article was written by The Federalist that says Taylor Swift's popularity is a sign of societal decline.
This is a hit piece by Mark Hemingway. And look, I looked at his author page. This guy should not be commenting on Taylor Swift or whatever is relevant to young women. He's out of touch. But his...
I love his writing. Like, Federalist is one of my favorite publications.
No problem with The Federalist or, like, this guy personally. It just doesn't seem like he totally gets the big picture.
He's onto something with so he has this whole section about talking about the meme decade and how people are very nowadays, focused on like, this is, very, very self-centered.
Yeah.
And I get that with certain popular songs of Taylor Swift, but I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't know her full catalog.
Yeah.
I only know the popular ones, so I don't know if it applies to all of her music.
Do you distinguish between like her older music and newer?
It all kind of is the same to me.
Okay.
Somebody in the chat said, did someone just throw money at you? Yes, consider 00 in the chat. Someone did just throw money at us.
There's a little person in the corner
It was
that
you.
throws money at us.
Because anyone who super chats is able to throw money at us. You are literally the one throwing the money at us when you super chat.
We should have pyrotechnics.
Continue to do so.
Episode 500?
That would be great. We should just start, we should just set fireworks off.
Just set fire to the studio.
That would be great.
We burn the studio down on episode 500.
That would be great.
And it says, audiences and elite tastemakers alike have decided Taylor Swift's narcissistic lyrics and cliched music are a cultural triumph.
What is she
but
supposed to write about?
But why would we celebrate this?
What is she supposed to write about? Somebody else's love life?
And
yeah, I don't quite get it.
It's not exclusive to Taylor Swift either. It's like every artist is very narcissistic.
There's actually an interesting comment here in the chat from BLT says, why does Taylor Swift appeal to young people? She's not Gen Z. She has crossed many generational boundaries.
Because her original fan base when she started out in country music was millennial women. And they were like the tweens and teens at the time. And they grew up, and some of them grew out of Taylor Swift. Some of them are still fans, but Taylor Swift kind of had a lull in her career, and she made a big comeback, and she's in her renaissance right now. After going like mainstream pop and then more into like the folklore Evermore era.
DCNC says, I'm confused. What Taylor did that was bad? Nothing. Literally right now, what it is that a lot of the conservatives are very, very afraid of the fact that she has tremendous cultural influence and she is actively involved in politics to a certain extent.
Her new fan base is Gen Z, and they're going to be the next voters in this election.
And when you make one tweet and get 35,000 people to register to vote, she's going to be able to sway an entire election with numbers like that. Even if only 5,000 of those people voted, that's a lot of people when an election is close. And there isn't really a movement down the right that reaches the broader apolitical demographic in that way.
And this is why I take no issue at all with Vivek Ramaswamy having a TikTok. You actually do have to reach the young people, like you do.
And the hardest part
is that the only way?
It's one of the ways.
I feel like TikTok became more of a like cross-generational platform. Like there are people of all generations on it.
They're saying in the chat, they're saying Gen Z won't show up. I said, like, that's a risk you're willing to take, but I think a lot of them are saying that that's not a risk they want to take. Well,
the Gen Z who are going to show up are going to vote Democrat.
Yeah.
Like,
every single one of those voters is going to vote exactly the same way down the ticket, and there isn't a cultural influence on the right outside of Donald Trump that could get you to do that. And I would argue even he would inspire more people, though most of his fans are diehards.
Is he allowed on TikTok?
I have no idea, but he would still, because he's heavily political, he would motivate people who are more interested in like the people who would vote who got into politics just because of Donald Trump were probably about to get more involved in politics anyways. So if they're not the ones that are going to vote Republican down the line, they're going to actually research candidates and, do their due diligence. I don't see the same thing happening to people who signed up because Taylor Swift told them to vote. Right?
I also I know a lot of, and it's anecdotal, of course, but like I know a lot of conservative women who love Taylor Swift. Almost all of them.
Yeah.
She has a lot of Christian women in her audience, and that's there's this conservative publication for women called The Conservator, and I saw they posted about this too recently. They said it's important to reflect on Taylor Swift's message to young women across the nation. She has a significant portion of her fan base composed of Christian women. Unfortunately, her activism is not only out of touch and misguided, it also denigrates the faith of many women who support her. So it's time we finally have an open discussion about what it means to be a Taylor Swift fan. Does she deserve the Bud Light treatment?
There's
or
a
can we
$20 one.
separate art from the artist?
There's a $20 one from High Voltage 75.
Taylor's appeal spans all generations. My boomer mother in her 60s thinks she's the most talented female artist ever.
It is also fair to point out that the conservatives would be more likely to be willing to separate art from artist.
Correct.
Way more.
They always
Thank you.
If you're a conservative who likes Taylor Swift, you're already doing it.
Yeah.
If you're a conservative who likes pretty much any mainstream artist, you're already doing that.
I do that every day when I go watch movies, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
separating art from artists. That doesn't bother me. Like you have to be able to do that. The problem is she's going to inspire people that are only going to vote one way. And Gavin Newsom said that.
Ooh.
See that right now? That person in the chat's like, wow, how did they do that? That's literally how you did it. You guys
Was there
make that
somebody
happen.
who's new to the show talking about it?
Yeah, it was somebody who it was not a name that I was used to seeing, so it had to be someone new. I know a lot
Thanks for being here.
women that would consider themselves, if not conservative, at least educated and pretty libertarian, or middle of the road in their views, that love Taylor Swift.
Absolutely.
Right, and Gavin Newsom had a thing right after the debate. He said Taylor Swift is uniquely powerful in the next election, and it's crazy. It's crazy to think that
Tommy
one person,
Lahren also weighed in. And to be fair to her, Newsweek lied about what she said about Taylor Swift. The headline says Tommy Lahren calls Taylor Swift brain dead. That is not what she said. This is her real quote. Her lefty, liberal, brain dead political opinions aside, I'm a fan of Taylor Swift, and I have been since that way before she went liberal. She's also single-handedly done more for the U.S. economy than any Democrat president, maybe ever. And when I heard the rumors of her and Travis Kelce, at first I thought there is no way this is going to last. We're going to get into Travis Kelce today, unfortunately. We talked about it a couple times earlier in the week, and it got stale. Like, there's only so much that you can observe.
Did you like they were milking it? They were like, sales of ranch and ketchup from Heinz triples after Taylor Swift.
They released a what appears to be, what was it called? It was like,
that stuff already existed. That was already something that was sold.
there was a meme of Taylor Swift eating a chicken tender with
I do
ketchup
like that she
and
likes chicken tendies.
seemingly ranch.
Yeah.
And they released ketchup and seemingly ranch.
Men,
Heinz sauce.
you heard it here first. Never let your ladies shame you for eating chicken tendies. If it's good enough for Taylor Swift, it's good enough for you.
When have you been shamed for eating the tendies?
You never saw that video where the woman is like, I thought marrying an older guy would mean, you know what I'm talking about?
What?
She says like, so
Familiar,
it's this
yeah.
video where this lady's like, yeah, I thought marrying an older guy would mean that I was going to get somebody who was sophisticated. I just got back from the grocery store and my husband told me to get dinosaur nuggies, and I don't remember what theirs, but the point is she's like making fun of him for the fact that he likes dino nuggies, but he's in his 40s.
You know what? I
He's valid.
would make my husband dino nuggies, but then on a different night, how about we do lamb or like steak?
Lamb nuggies
and-
don't sound that great. But
No, not nuggies.
It's all about
like
variety.
a roast.
Yes.
A roast. It's about variety. Do the elevated stuff some nights and enjoy the junk the other nights.
Exactly. So, just saying, Kings, don't let her shame you out of your chicken tendies. You're fine.
I'm sure that's Travis Kelce's reward after he comes home from getting his COVID booster.
And then in the chat, Dustin says chalky milk. There you go.
Yeah.
Have your chicken tendies and your chalky milk.
He carbo loads before the game on Dino Nuggies. and
Don't
Chalky
don't
Milk.
don't have Dino Nuggies in Mountain Dew. That might be too predictable. You can have the Dino Nuggies and the Mountain Dew, but you have to have them at separate times. You can't have them at the same time.
So Tommy Lahren said, I mean, he's an athlete. He's big, strong, and unlike her other boyfriends, looks like he can withstand a strong breeze without falling over and crying. not necessarily her type, but when I saw this ad for Pfizer, it all came together.
Yep.
Maybe that's why she likes him, because he's a liberal who's done an ad for Bud Light and Pfizer.
It also seems like she's just getting, like, she's sampling every type of guy on the menu at the moment, and like this is the newest type of fixation.
This
That
is-
just sounds so boring.
This is my favorite meme.
I know.
That cycle of constant.
This was my
breakups.
favorite meme
Yeah.
that came out of all this. It says Travis Kelce started dating Taylor Swift and immediately turned into a state trooper who turns off his body cam.
Yeah, he's just mirroring whatever woman he's dating at the moment.
Somebody in the chat brought up green and purple ketchup. You guys might be too young to remember green and
What?
purple
Of
ketchup.
course I
Was that a
do.
thing when you guys were younger?
Yes, of course, the
Yeah.
Shrek one.
What
Yeah.
are you talking
Yeah.
about?
There was a time when you could buy green and purple ketchup.
That's disgusting.
That's what I said. I mean, I'm not a
It's
huge
both,
ketchup fan.
or is it
anyways.
just you can get green or purple?
Green or purple.
not together.
You know what?
You can
I
put
feel
them
like there
together.
wasn't
Why?
there some sort of swirl, or am I thinking of like the peanut butter and jelly?
I think
The Grurple?
peanut butter and jelly. Yeah.
Ew.
The green.
I'm not a huge ketchup fan to begin with, so that was never really a problem for me. But yeah,
What's your
That's
condiment
disgusting.
of choice?
mustard,
Solid.
barbecue sauce if it's French fries.
Good choice.
Yeah,
Ranch is gross.
disgusting.
Agree.
Glad we were all on the same page there.
Mayonnaise is the worst.
Then the
though.
chat right now is going to be pissed.
About ranch?
In the chat, Unknown says, boring, yet we talk about it every episode. Are we talking about colored ketchup or are we talking about Taylor Swift? We went 2 days in a row without talking about Taylor Swift, so, should reset the clock back to 0.
Wait, what did it say?
I don't know if he's talking about, if he's talking about us. Did somebody say Taylor Swift that something is boring?
Is Taylor Swift boring or ketchup?
I find her, her level up kind of fascinating because she was always famous and now she's like ultra mega famous and it almost
Well, if your
seems
fame
fake.
starts to wear off, then you need to bring in a new flock from the new generation. That wouldn't have. They don't care that much about what Demi Lovato is up to.
And, I mean, like
or
Justin Bieber
Selena
doesn't.
Gomez or,
Justin Bieber doesn't like transcend generations in the same way.
he doesn't really work anymore.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
He's not really putting out music anymore.
He just walks around with his wife.
Yeah,
dressed
he
like a
kind of just
bum.
gets led around on a leash by Haley and wears
She
sweats.
is kind of girl bossing with that
Yeah.
with Road Beauty.
Marco says purple and green ketchup with steak. Ugh.
You do kind of resemble Haley.
Do I?
Have you heard
That's
that
sweet.
before? or
Never
no?
heard that before.
I think you do.
Well, thank you.
Do you see any
She's
other?
pretty.
Let's watch the videos. The ones the Travis Kelce ones.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there were girls trolling their boyfriends on TikTok saying that Taylor Swift put Travis Kelce on the map.
These guys were not happy.
Taylor Swift and Kelsey is going crazy right now.
Hold on.
Wait, what?
Reset.
The news about Taylor Swift and Kelsey is going crazy right now. And but I think it's so cool because it's like she's gonna help him. She's gonna help put him on the map. You know?
Oh, he's so pissed.
Yeah, like
That look.
He doesn't need help being put on the map, right?
He's just disagreeing.
Travis Kelce, the guy's like the best tight end in football, maybe ever.
I don't think many people know who he is.
I didn't know who he was.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people know who he is. Travis Kelce.
I'm pretty sure she's the one that's making his career go crazy right now.
You're joking, right?
No.
You're joking.
It wouldn't. I mean, it would be making his career go crazy. It would be making.
He's
it'd be
about to
raising
flip
his,
the table.
Yeah, like
Wait, go to the next one. This got a little
It's
more
honestly
heated.
kind of crazy that literally nobody even knew who Travis Kelce was until yesterday.
that's a dick move.
So
He had 3 million followers already.
wrong. Nobody knew who the best tight end, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl, 2-time Super Bowl champion was. Had a dating show on MTV. That's the one NFL player you can't say that about.
No, Taylor Swift literally is
Tom
putting him
Brady
on
is
map.
the one NFL player you can't say.
Everybody's
I'm not
talking
even
about.
gonna entertain this conversation because you're so wrong. He's him and Patrick Mahomes are 1 and 2 most famous NFL players in the entire league. You're so wrong.
The laugh just probably would have sent him, right? She's to them, she's denigrating what he cares about. It actually seems kind of mean.
Okay, that's you're
Well, no,
overstating
to
it
film,
a little
to
bit.
film it. right? And
You
turn
know
it into
it's
a
real
TikTok.
too because
get
you can
that.
see that they're putting their leg in frame to look like they're just like slumped over
Yeah.
looking at Twitter. So you know it's a genuine reaction.
Yeah.
So
but-
much on TikTok is fake these days.
But you know, like they're basically saying like, here's this thing you care about, and then like, oh, it's not all that
Okay,
big of a
but
deal.
for a lot of women, this is true.
Yes,
I
no,
never
for-
heard
yeah.
of Travis Kelce in my damn life. I never heard of that man before he started dating Taylor Swift. Honest. And
Same.
That's, I'm sure,
It's
true
almost
for
like
many
men and
other
women
women
have
out
different
there.
interests.
Yeah, and like, why can't that just be like okay? Like that's just how it is.
The guy's rebuttal would be like, well, I've never heard a Taylor Swift song, or I don't know any Taylor Swift music.
you
or something
definitely
like
know
that.
who she is.
Yeah.
If ever
the
walked
thing.
around a mall, you've heard at least one of her songs.
How do you think she can like reconcile mogging every guy that she dates? Like, how do you date that way when you're more famous and more successful and richer than almost any guy that you could date?
Is it like a game at this point where she enters into these relationships knowing she's going to have another album about them and knowing that she will make a lot of money off of this relationship?
I
At
don't know why
this
you'd want to
point-
do that. And I don't know why the guy would want to put up with it, knowing that it's going to be that way. At a track record at 33 years old, it's like you're probably not going to be the one.
Because it puts you on the map.
Yeah, I guess. But like, if I was the dude, the best would be for her to find a guy who doesn't want to be a public figure, and stay out of the spotlight. Like to me, the celebrities who always seem to have the best, longest lasting marriages, the ones where one of them isn't famous and doesn't seek a public life. So I mean, it's not really possible with her, but yeah,
The guy she was with for 6 years,
yeah.
they were engaged, right? Am I
Yes.
making that up?
Or no, I don't know if they were. I don't know. You would know that better than me.
Well, whether or not they were engaged, they were together for a long time. He was such a sissy boy.
I just figured they want to be now like the girl who got George Clooney to finally settle down and get married. That was a big deal. Again,
But
like,
now people make up mythology about that marriage, and they say like Amal Clooney is. You look at the green lines. She's the one in charge. She's the alpha. She has him on a leash.
well, I mean
He's
that means
miserable.
it's what he wanted. That
blah,
means
blah,
it's what he
blah.
wanted.
But they're
right?
saying that he's miserable with her, and I don't know.
that's
or
projection
care, but
on the part of the people that are saying.
a lot of people are saying that.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.